Welcome, PZs Picks. Here is your host, Paul Zalakar.
We made picks to have. We're right here on PZ's Picks. I'm your host, PZ. Joined with me is JJ. That's four JJs. Actually, that's two JJs, four Js. How
I'm
you
doing
doing,
pretty
JJ?
good, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. I'm super excited. I've got my coffee rolling right now, and I'm ready to make some money right here on PZ's Picks.
Just so everybody knows, we are recording this in the evening. Paul's drinking coffee. He's an old man.
Savage. That's what I'll say. ASMR, I hope you heard that. The first game we're going to, it is the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. We've got football numbers right here. The line is at 3 in favor of the Bears, getting the 3 points, minus 110. On the money line, the Detroit Lions plus 128, and the favorite Chicago Bears minus 152. It is in Chicago. The over-under is at 42.5, a low number, but these two teams haven't been playing too well this year.
Yeah, I'm probably jumping on the Bears -3. I mean, I didn't see it. This is one of the first days I'm looking at it, but I don't know if it'll move between now and game time, so I'm probably going to jump on that.
Bears only put up 6 points in their loss to the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are, in my opinion, a better team than Chicago, and that's in a bit of a stretch between the two teams' talent levels. It was
also in the Lions.
Yes, this is true. Jared Goff really hasn't proved too much. However, they almost pulled off the upset against the Baltimore Ravens, but it was Justin Tucker, 66 yards, his beautiful leg, and a dink doink right over through the uprights to get the Baltimore Ravens a win, 19-17. And that's kind of how Detroit typically plays their games, to the end, tight, and they lose them. So if this comes down to the wire, you're looking for a field goal to win, that football number at 3, you're looking at the Chicago Bears. The interesting thing is, what are we going to see quarterback-wise? Justin Fields, he got the start before Andy Dalton previously played his 2 previous games starting for the Chicago Bears. Does it change up for you if Dalton would be in or if Fields is in?
That's a great question. I actually didn't think too much about that. Probably not. I'd say no. I mean, the Bears defense won't change, and that's who's facing the Lions offense, which God knows what they're going to do. Hawkinson will probably get in, though.
Big surprise, the Detroit defense, not too stellar, lost some players to injury already in this season, only let up 19 points against the Baltimore offense. So with that 42.5, although it is a rather low number, I am keen on pushing the over on that. We're going to take a quick look at stats through 3 weeks, through the Sunday slate as well as the Monday games. Through 3 weeks, the over has hit just 18 times compared to 27 times against the spread. The dogs coming in 28 compared to the favorites at 17. So the underdogs and the unders have been playing pretty well so far. So I'm going to stay away from this game, at least between the two teams, but I'm going to root for points over 42.5. Moving on to the Nets game, a bit of a snoozer for one side. The Tennessee Titans are on the road against the New York Jets. The line comes in at 6.5, and the money line for the Titans minus 330, plus 265 for the New York Jets, over under 45.5. What are you thinking, JJ?
I'm definitely liking the Titans. 6.5. I don't think they have a problem with that, especially if Derrick Henry gets going, which I assume he will because the Jets defense. I don't even know if they go out on the field anymore.
Yeah, they got walloped last week. Unfortunately, I thought that there was going to be a cover by the Jets. Unfortunately for me, they did not cover. They didn't score a single point. They lost 26-0 against the Denver Broncos, who have yet to lose a game yet. Well, we won't jump to any conclusions on this week's matchup at all. We're stuck with the Jets and the Titans. Inside the lines, it's a touchdown. You got to think the Tennessee Titans got to win the game at least. I don't know about covering, but it's the Jets. It's the Jets. Who are we talking here? 6.5 points is nothing against the Jets. They didn't cover 26 points. They didn't cover 10.5 points. They were even last week. And Derrick Henry can just be a monster. But JJ, there are some injuries that could play a role in that.
Is it Derrick Henry?
No, it's not Derrick Henry. It's some receivers that you had mentioned previously to us recording.
Oh.
You want to elaborate about these two receivers who are pretty important?
Jones and Brown will be out for the Titans in the receiving field, which it wouldn't worry me that much because, I mean, they'll probably run it way more than they would throw, I would assume, especially in the second half. Although against the Jets defense, I'm pretty sure they could do whatever the hell they want to. They could probably make Ryan Tannehill wide receiver one and put Derrick Henry in at quarterback and still cover 6.5.
It was interesting because in the Titans game against the Colts last week, yes, Derrick Henry did rush for over 100 yards, but getting in the end zone, some guys you really wouldn't think of, at least name-wise, are not name brand players, and Nick Westbrook, Jeremy McNichols, and Chester Rogers. If you're putting your money on a same game parlay for those three, I'm sure you would get every penny's worth and then some, because those are not, like I said, name brand players for the Tennessee Titans. So we'll look to see if Tennessee can get some of their guys that typically get the ball like Derrick Henry, or if there are healthy players within Julio Jones or Brown as well to get in there. We'll see. I have Julio Jones on my fantasy team. He hasn't found the end zone yet. I would like to see him get in the end zone. So we'll see if he can get in there this time around against the Jets.
That's a bold pick. New team.
I mean, he was later down the line, so I wanted to roll the dice. And, he's been a star-studded receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, and he's got great hands. He just has to learn a new playbook and get situated with a new quarterback. And Ryan Tannehill can sling the ball a good bit whenever he's got some time on his hands. So, again, I do like the Tennessee Titans. 6.5 is a great number to tease. We'll see if that gets used between either of us for a potential teaser. Don't want to tease anything just yet because we've got some more great football games to predict and give off our scores. The next game, sticking with another AFC North team, the Cleveland Browns and the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings, big upset against Seattle last week. That was a tough one. I was really liking Seattle there. Browns 2.5-point favorites. That's at -110. The Cleveland Browns, the money line, -138, and then +118 for the Vikings. And then the over-under 51.5.
Did your Odell anytime last week hit or no?
Odell did not score. He did not.
Okay,
DJ Chark did, however.
What was that?
DJ Chark did for Jacksonville. He hit.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I didn't watch that game, but I remember that. This one.
Hunt scored too. I think I told you that Hunt was potentially going to score, and I like the odds there, and he scored. Not Odell.
Adam Thielen +105 anytime. Found the end zone last week, I'm pretty sure. So why not keep it rolling? Because I don't know if their run game won't be able to take off, so they're going to have to pass it, I'd assume.
Again, Cleveland Browns are without Jarvis Landry. He's out on the IR. I think Adam Thielen has at least 3 touchdowns so far in the season. I know he had 2 in week 1, and then if he scored last week, then he's at least got 3. So it definitely good odds for him right there. I like the Browns to cover this 2.5. I like the Browns to win. As a Pittsburgh fan, I don't root for it, but I think that they would and they should. The Vikings, they did get a win against Seattle. It was grit. I'll say that, because Seattle came up big and then they battled back, and then pretty much Seattle was nowhere to be found. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see this game. Can Baker Mayfield keep it up? They're on a roll right now, and yeah, I like the Browns to cover here at 2.5. Over under, I don't really like that too much, so I'll stay away from that.
Yeah, 51.5.
Not me.
That's high.
Speaking of high, the temperatures in Miami might be pretty high for the next game. It's Miami Dolphins and the Indianapolis Colts. A very small line here, thin, +1.5 for the Indianapolis Colts. Get to win a game. Miami Dolphins -1.5. Money line +116 for Indianapolis, -136 for Miami. Over under 42.5. Decent defenses here, not so great offenses.
Yeah, the only pick I got in this one is first drive result punt.
What's that coming at? I like that.
-145.
I do like that.
Everything else is like offensive touchdown +410, field goal attempt +440, any other +650. So there's a turnover +650.
I would like a kick for Miami. I've got is it Sanders, Jason Sanders or something? He's my kicker for my one fantasy team.
Oh, dude, imagine if the Dolphins score a touchdown this week.
Defensively,
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, I said that wrong, but you know what I mean.
I was gonna say if they score a touchdown this week, you'd be like, all right, what's
Yeah,
next?
that's football.
Another touchdown. That's how you play the game. Do you have any favorites in the outcome, at least within a winner? Maybe not, because even the money line plays pretty well here for either side. You're not, even if you have it's not a heavy favorite, so you're still getting low.
Yeah, I assume we don't know Carson Wentz's health status right now, right? With this,
No, and then Jacoby Brissett, I believe, will still be at the helm of quarterback. I'll double check right now.
so if Jacoby's starting and Carson Wentz is starting, which I assume he is since he started last week with his sprained ankles, I'm gonna take the Dolphins so it could be Jacoby's revenge game.
That will be Jacoby Brissett. Tua cannot come back at least until October 11th because he was put on the IR for fractured ribs. So, yeah, on the injury front.
Miami Dolphins money line -136. Jacoby's revenge game at home.
Do you like Jacoby because his name starts with a J?
Sure. No, I
right.
actually liked him when he was a quarterback in Indy.
Yeah, that's true. We'll be going up against Indianapolis, and when Luck went out, he was the guy, and then he's kind of got bullied out of there. So
And then he got paid, and then he got bullied out.
I like that pick. Fins up, baby. Miami Dolphins -1.5, -136. Take it to the bank. I also wouldn't mind seeing what the total points are. They've got Indianapolis over under 22, and the Colts 20 and the Dolphins 22. If that was at 21, it'd be perfect because I think they can get to 21, but we'll see if they can put up more points than that. The next game looking at is the Carolina Panthers without Christian McCaffrey and the Dallas Cowboys coming off a big win on Monday night against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Lions coming in at 4.5-point favorites for the Cowboys, America's team, -215 on the money line. Panthers and Sam Darnold +180 on the money line, over under 52.5.
Yeah, I mean, with McCaffrey being out, I'm scared to take the Panthers just because it's mostly passing the whole game. I don't know. Do you know?
I do have Chuba Hubbard.
That's the backup, right? Yeah, I saw him. He started getting picked up this week in fantasy, actually. But I mean, did you watch that Monday Night Football game the Cowboys played in?
No, I did not, because I had to work very early the next morning, so I did not.
Well, I mean, it was against the Eagles, but the Eagles don't have that bad of a defense, at least defensive line. They smacked.
Fletcher Cox is a great ball player.
Yeah, they smacked the shit out of the Eagles. It was so much fun. Yeah, it was so much fun to watch, actually. I don't really root or watch the Cowboys, but I'm not taking a pick. But if I have to, I would lean Cowboys. Cowboys 4.5, I guess.
How did Zeke and how did Dak look? I think Zeke
good.
I think Zeke was in the end zone.
Oh yeah, and that was in the same game I had, but didn't end up hitting it. Zeke looked good. Dak looked good. I mean, a lot of the receivers were getting open. I don't think Amari Cooper scored.
CeeDee Lamb's a baller. I'll say that. I'm a big CeeDee Lamb fan.
Dude, he had a nice play and it was big yards. Then he got stopped at like the 2-yard line or the 1-yard line. I had him in that Zeke parlay for any time.
Well, I personally picked the Eagles last week, so I don't know what to think about this. The Panthers are 3-0, but that also was with Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. They did pick up a win against the Texans and held them to 9 points. So defensively, Carolina's defense is starting to play more sound.
Through 2 weeks, they were the number one defense in the league, though. I don't think it's their defense that's gonna win I don't think it's their defense that'll lose in this game.
I know that Carolina, without McCaffrey, will need to pass the ball more, but defensively at 52.5, I think that this could end up being a pretty low scoring game. And I say that because 2 weeks prior in week 2, Dallas against the Chargers, they were set at 54.5. That game finished at 20-17. So the under hit by a long shot. So my play here is going to be the under 52.5.
PZ undies.
They are American Eagle right now.
Next game is the New York Giants at the New Orleans Saints. Spread -7 in favor of the Saints. Money line -355 for the Saints, plus 285 for the Giants. Over under set at 41.5.
I called the Saints last week. I said that the Saints will win against the Patriots. They will go into Foxborough and they will bounce back. And they did. They put up a really good game against the Patriots, 28-13. And that last set of points for the Patriots came rather late. 7 points, though. It's a big spread. Alvin Kamara is always a good play for a touchdown score. He came in like just below, I think it was at -120, but certain sports books, you can get some of that stuff boosted for rather a boost or whatever they give you. So I would look for potentially a Kamara touchdown and paired with a money line with the Saints, see what that juice would end up being like. Over 41.5. That is a pretty low number. Like I said, last week they put up 28 against the Patriots, and the Patriots do hold teams to low scores. So if the Giants can put up points, I do like the over here, opposite of what I was thinking for the previous game.
I'm going to take the line's not out for it yet, but I know that it will be available. I don't know what the odds will be, but I'm taking Danny Dimes over rushing yards. I assume it'll be set somewhere between 12 and 15. Shit, it might be 20 by now. He's been doing it a lot.
Will he have another opportunity for a long rush and score and fall and trip on his own 2 feet on a line in the field? But at the same time, be the fastest NFL player for the season?
Yeah, isn't that something?
Will that happen? Are you predicting that?
Fuck, if it happens, at least I hope he gets over like 25 yards because it might be set somewhere around there. I don't give a fuck what he does after he gets the yards.
Well, I will say this. You most likely won't have to worry about him kneeling and losing yards in the rush because, let's be honest, I don't think the Giants are going to win this game.
No.
But that'd be a pretty good underdog pick if you took him in the money line coming in at plus 285. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm taking the over at 41.5.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable making that. That's the only play I got in this game.
You definitely would be sweating. Another line at 7 is the another 1 o'clock matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs coming off of 2 losses. Yes, 2 losses. And they are 1-2, but probably one of the best 1-2 teams in the NFL. They're playing the Philadelphia Eagles. The money line is -310 for the Chiefs in Philadelphia. The Eagles getting plus 250 on the money line, over under 54.5.
Yeah, looking at anytime touchdowns, Tyreek Hill -185 and Travis Kelce -180. I don't think we'll see them at plus money ever this season, so just get used to that. But same game parlay, those two come in at plus 181 if you think both of them will score, which I don't think is too bad.
Kansas City's defense, not that great. Kansas City's offense, pretty great.
Yeah.
That's why I'm looking for this to be a high-scoring game. Not going to take the over, not going to take the under. I think it's a no-brainer that Kansas City wins this game because they need to. They can't go down 1-3. That'd be bad. It'd be very bad. It'd be a panic button getting pressed. I think that Pittsburgh fans are hitting the panic button at 1-2 right now. If they go 1-3, it's already kind of settled. But Kansas City goes 1-3, that's bad. I'm looking for Devontae Smith plus 170 to score, and I also like the Kansas City Chiefs dropping that 7 in an upcoming teaser. So be on the lookout for that.
Ooh, player touchdown passes. Jalen Hurts over under set at 1.5 plus money for the over. Patrick Mahomes 2.5 favored to the under.
Miles Sanders is a pretty decent back and could get into the end zone. I wouldn't put money on the Eagles touchdowns except for Devonta Smith. Kansas City, though,
The only problem,
I would probably lean on that over 2.5 passing touchdowns.
yeah, only minus 108.
3 touchdown passes. Yeah.
I mean, he could do it, even those little shovel ones.
He'd go like this, break an arm, and just kind of like funnel the ball forward, and somehow they'll get a touchdown. Nicole Hardman will just be like, "Oh, what's up?" and just like run right past and catch it.
He's playing water polo with the football.
Yep.
And then he just slings it right into Kelsey. Yeah, over 2.5 for Patrick Mahomes, minus 108. Not bad. The under is minus 122 if you're interested in that.
I'm actually interested in the first half, and I'm looking at the spread for that. That's coming in at -4. That's ugly. I would much rather that be 3. So I'm not looking at either of that either, but the total points for the first half is over 27.5, and that's plus 110. I kind of like that. I think the Chiefs get out there at least throw up 18 points in the first half.
I have a question.
I've hopefully got an answer.
On FanDuel, there's first half spread in words, and then there's first with the number 1 ST half spread.
I believe it's the same way. One is only available in the same game parlay and for different juice because they want to have that at a 110. I don't know that for certain, but
Oh yeah, because it's half a point. I see that.
yeah.
Interesting.
Like I said, I do like the Chiefs putting up 17 points. Their over under is 16.5 points in the first half. I want to say they've been having pretty slow starts though. I don't think this is one they would have a slow start in the game. I think that they need to come out slinging.
If they give the Eagles anything, it's going to be bad. Bad news. To score every quarter, Kansas City, yes, minus 120.
What do you like about this? First half total touchdowns over under 3 plus 105, over 3 minus 160.
First half?
First half.
I would definitely pick that. I'd pick the over in the first half as opposed to the second. I don't know what the second set at, but I mean, 3.5, I don't mind it. Because you got to think Philly might sneak one in.
First half touchdowns, Kansas City Chiefs over under 2, plus 110 at over, minus 140 at under.
So they'd have to score 3.
They'd push at 2, catch it, you'd hit at 3.
I mean, I might take them to score every quarter, so that's minus 120.
I've got nothing else left for this game. I think we've dragged this one out a little too much. So let's move on to the Arizona Cardinals and the LA Rams. This is our 4:00 slate, faux. And we've got Arizona Cardinals plus 3.5 against the Rams coming off a big win against Tampa Bay. I'm pretty sure I called this one too last week. Tampa Bay would take the L and LA Rams would pull up. You might have said the same thing too, but I'm not sure. I just had to credit myself for when I think I need to be right.
I didn't say that. I know that.
Plus 180, no Scotty Miller for the Arizona Cardinals money line, minus 215 for the Rams, over under 54.5. Division opponents too, must I say.
I don't know. I'm kind of liking Cooper Kupp's over under in receiving yards, 84.5. Last week he found the end zone, I think, twice. Kyler Murray's rushing yards is set at 33.5. That's insane.
What do you want to take there?
I'd lean the under.
You think? You don't think he breaks out for some rushes?
If he breaks out, Jalen Ramsey's right there.
Well, think about it. He might be scrambling because Aaron Donald's coming up and trying to bully him, so he has to run to the outside and just get some yardage because his receivers aren't open.
Yeah, but
that Rams defense is pretty sound. Pretty sound.
I know that. That's why I'm surprised it's for like 33.5. I don't know. Watch him rush for like 140 yards. But anytime touchdown, Cooper Kupp, minus 185. He found the end zone a couple times last week against a good defense. I don't see a reason why he can't do it again.
The only reason I'm taking this in a situation here. The Arizona Cardinals plus 3.5. It's minus 105. They're a good team. They are a very good team. But not a lot of people thought they were going to be here at this point. They did have a really poor situation against Jacksonville last week, whenever they went for the long kick and the kick six happened. 3.5 points is a good number to have. This is going to be a close game just because underdogs have been pretty solid against the spread. LA, big win against Tampa Bay. They might fall short to the Arizona Cardinals. I like that play there at plus 3.5.
Yeah, that quarter that the kick happened really screwed me on that every quarter parlay. 3 out of 4. I mean, it doesn't give me any money back, but
The DJ Shark touchdown kind of screwed you there too.
yeah.
The Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Another great football number, plus 3, minus 3 in favor of the 49ers. Money line, plus 124 for the Seahawks. Lost 2 games in a row. Minus 146 for the money line for the 49ers. Over-unders 52.
I'm kind of liking the Niners in this. They played the Packers, and it came down to the end. Mason Crosby hit a game winner. But, I mean, the Seahawks, they got to get back on the horse sometime, right?
Yeah, I mean, their defense, I don't know. It's kind of questionable. Then their offense can put up points. They've got Russ, and they've got talented receivers that he can put the ball in their hands to. If it's not DK, it's Tyler Lockett. Like, they've got answers offensively, but can they actually produce? We'll see.
Do we know Tyler Lockett's injury status after last week?
Injury report. Let's check the status. Any touchdown props or any player props you like, potentially, even if there aren't lines out yet?
49ers, Seahawks. DK Metcalf touchdown probably. Excuse me. I mean, the 49ers secondary, it's not bad, but against Devontae Adams, they didn't look too good, which, I mean, hardly anybody does against Devontae Adams. But DK Metcalf, if Tyler Lockett is playing, I'll probably take Tyler Lockett just because DK Metcalf commands so much attention. But I don't know. I think it's going to be hard for the Seahawks to win this game. I mean, I hope they get winning again very, very soon because it does not. It's not a good thing seeing them lose like every week in like such horrible fashions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He was limited in practice on Wednesday. Yeah, that's about it. They're still missing Rashad Penny, dealing with a calf issue. He did not practice. But yeah, I don't know what's going on in Seattle. I thought they would have won last week against the Vikings who lost to Cincinnati, and just I thought wasn't a great team, but they beat Seattle, and both these teams kind of, not want to say desperate, more, especially Seattle is more desperate than San Francisco. Losing 2 in a row, San Francisco losing last second loss to Green Bay, had the win in their hands. These are 2 teams that are pissed off, is what I'll say. 2 very pissed off teams looking for a W, and only one can come out with a win.
Yeah, it's very hard to bet on teams like that.
In situations like that, JJ, you know what we like?
What's that?
The over 52. But LA's defense is pretty solid, so I'm not going to take that. Moving on to the Baltimore Ravens and the Denver Broncos. Just a point. It's the tightest one we've got. Ravens as the favorites. Broncos getting minus 102 on the money line. Minus 110 for plus 1. Minus 116 for the Ravens money line. Over under is set at 45.5.
Yeah, I mean, how did the Ravens go from beating the Chiefs in glorious fashion to, as you pointed out earlier, if it wasn't for a record-breaking kick, playing like absolute dog shit against the Lions, of all teams, the Lions. But, I mean, I got to ride with my boy on this one. I'm not taking them money line or spread. I'm taking their points over 22.5 total team points for the home team, the Denver Broncos, the Teddy Two Gloves Ponies. A dog at home, though. I want to see Teddy Bridgewater's record against the spread at home as a dog. It's probably crazy.
If you had to tease this, I'm assuming you would take the Denver Broncos?
If you asked me which way I'd tease it if I had to.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd take Broncos.
I mean, it's definitely the easier play because Ravens already at a -1, so you're not really getting too much of a football number there.
Yeah. I mean, 6-point teaser, you got him at 7.
That would be nice. I'm not leaning either way. Do you like the over at 45.5 though? I will say that. I
What?
don't really have over 45.5.
Yeah, why is that?
I think that these two teams are just going to get after each other and want to put up points. That's all. And would you look at that? I've got a wonderful dog right here to visit us. This is Lucky. Lucky, come here.
It's Teddy Two Gloves.
This is Teddy Two Gloves. Fresh from the dog park. How about that? Must be a happy camper. He's excited for some picks.
Yeah. What's his lock going to be? Steelers money line?
I don't know about all that. He does like the Carolina Panthers. To remind him of him.
Let's get into Lucky's lock of the week game.
I don't know if this is Lucky's lock of the week game. You can call it that. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers plus 6.5 against the Green Bay Packers -108 in the -6.5 category. Steelers plus 225 on the money line, -275 for Green Bay. Over under 45.5. Steelers only put up 10 points against the Cincinnati Bengals last week and got those 10 points in roughly 17 minutes of offense.
I mean, it's hard not to take Devontae Adams now since he found the end zone. I assume he'll be back very, very frequently. Although most of the Steelers all plus money except for one. What do you think about that?
What?
All the Steelers are plus money on anytime touchdowns besides one person.
No, Najee.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he is going to be back to his full self. Hopefully he is. That might just be the reports that we're getting. Deontay Johnson coming in at plus 210. He's our number one guy. So if he gets reps as the number one guy and gets looks as the number one guy, he's probably going to end up with a touchdown at plus 210. I didn't call it for the show, but I did have a pick for the Steelers touchdown in a touchdown parlay. He was the highest odds to get it, and I got it right in Pat Freiermuth, the safety out of Penn State, the Steelers tight end pick from this previous draft. He comes in at plus 440. If there's a tight end for the Steelers to score, it won't be Eric Ebron because he's got hands of lead. Pat Freiermuth will catch it. That comes, as I think I said, 440, but I'm not going to go for him again. I'm liking Deontay Johnson plus 210. I also like the Steelers to cover the spread. They typically play down to competition, and we saw that they're capable of beating a good team if their defense is strong. And, well, they're going to be getting one of, if not the best defensive players in the NFL back in TJ Watt. Got paid this year, and he's getting ready to play and show for why he got paid. Alex Highsmith, the other linebacker, is also going to be potentially getting back on the lineup. It looks like they're both going to be going and good. Wisconsin native for TJ Watt playing at Lambeau Field. Kind of a big deal. I think if there's a sack over under, I would hammer the over in regards to TJ Watt. Steelers did not record a sack last week without those two. It was just Melvin Ingram. When you have that 3-back system and you're able to just rotate guys in and out, you like that hand movement, then they're able to get a lot of just energy because they've got guys on the bench and they can come back out and they have high tenacity. So I like Steelers plus 6.5.
I will say the Steelers defense is a lot better than the Packers defense. So if it comes down to an offensive game, can the Steelers offense get it done? Because the Packers defense isn't really that good. Obviously, we know the Packers offense is one of the best in the league, but the Steelers passing defense, also one of the best in the league. And running defense. I mean, Aaron Jones is the favorite to score a touchdown this week, minus 170 something, but I don't know how I feel about that. For 3 reasons you just mentioned.
Can't let it be forgotten that the Packers got disheveled week 1 against the Saints. They lost 38-3, and that Packers team is not the same team that has been showing out the last 2 weeks. Can the Steelers defense get pressure to Aaron Rodgers and make him feel uncomfortable? We'll see. I like 6.5 Steelers. I like Deontay Johnson touchdown. Possibly same game parlay in the mix here, but we won't get to our pitch just yet. We'll have that later, so stay tuned. We are coming up, JJ, to a big game here.
Ginormous game.
ginormous game, massive implications. Belichick, Brady, the return. Tampa Bay going into Foxborough, -7, -300 on the money line, over under 49.5. The Patriots are +245 on the money line. Oh, this is a big one. Tampa Bay coming off of a loss to the LA Rams. Patriots with Matt Jones haven't looked that great. They have not looked that great. This could be a potential Tom Brady slaughtering of the lamb. The sacrificial New England Patriots laying just a dawn drop on Bill Belichick and his previous former franchise, and I hate to say it, winning franchise team.
You done?
Yep. Now I'm done.
Antonio Brown, anytime touchdown score, +160. He's back this week. And obviously one of Brady's favorite targets. I mean, misses the game, they lose. But also, I will be parlaying every receiver Antonio Brown listed here. Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. All four to score a touchdown, same game parlay. Because I think what you said earlier will happen. Brady slaughtering of the Lambs, and I don't think he's going to let his foot off the gas. So those four parlay together comes in at +5,652. I will be taking them individually as well, but
wouldn't that suck? I'll lay this out. It's going to happen now. One of those four, I don't know if he'll be in the game. Is Scotty Miller going to even get reps? Like if he scored and one of them didn't, that would be atrocious.
I would hurt him if I ever saw him or try to. I mean, he could probably beat the shit out of me, but because I took him last week.
I know that's why I had to drop that in there. Again, I don't know if I would take the spread in either situation. I would still lean in the Patriots with that -7, but this is a great game for a teaser just to get the -1, have the Patriots winning just by a point, and that would have been pretty nice. Over under 49.5. Anytime the Patriots play, the over hovers around 42, 41, 43, and it typically doesn't go over. So I'm going to stay away from the over under here and just look for, like you said, a potential touchdown score. And for me personally, maybe drop that into a teaser.
Brady's touchdowns 2.5 plus money on the over.
Do you like Antonio Brown to score 2 touchdowns +1,200?
Oh my god, I'd love that.
He's getting good juice though on that. He's getting a lot of juice compared to
+160 for one.
Here's one that I do like. Tampa Bay to win by 1 to 13 points +135. Think it's gonna be more? You think it's gonna be 14 plus?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at what the alternate spread is for 13.5. I think it's gonna be bad, Paul. I mean, I hope so, because I'm gonna watch the shit out of it. Tampa Bay Buccaneers
+175.
Yeah.
Not that great for a big number.
-20.5 +360. Huh? If my parlay hits, it's gonna have to be a big number.
Might as well just throw that in the parlay.
Honestly, what is that? 4 touchdowns? I'd do that.
I wouldn't. That'd be disgusting.
Yeah, and it'd be really gross if it hit too.
Oh man,
you'd be sick. I'd never do another one of these shows if that parlay hits.
Well, you might be paying for a studio and some other kind of stuff, but then again, I don't know what kind of leads you're or what kind of arm and lead you're putting down on this.
I bet my house on it, dude.
Oh, nice, me too. I've got a couple hotels on Boulevard and Park Place.
I'll put next month's rent up in it.
Goodness, always remember to bet responsibly, know your limits, and call 800-GAMBLER if you're dealing with any issues.
I'm not actually putting my house or my rent on it. But by the way, Cam gave us a nice outro for the neighborhood, and he mentions PZs Picks, and he also includes the disclaimer and the phone number.
Well, that's good. Good for that. Appreciate that, Cam. JJ, any closing thoughts? We've got picks coming up, but any closing thoughts on the Sunday slate?
My lock hit last week. Kyler Murray +100. Anytime It's probably going to be another anytime for this week. So, yeah. I'm assuming it's going to be an anytime. It could be something else. Like maybe I could go some wild field goal shit like you usually do.
Did you look at the anytime touchdown for Kyler Murray this week?
I don't think it's out yet.
It's plus 140.
I don't like it.
I wouldn't like it either.
I don't like anybody scoring against the Rams. I don't like taking anybody scoring against the Rams for now. And plus, I think I've only watched one Cardinals game so far. So I think who'd they play week 1? They're the Colts, right?
Yep.
They play the Colts or the Titans.
No, they played the Titans and they won 38-13.
Yeah, I watched that game. I haven't watched them since, so I don't know what's going on with them. I'm gonna try to watch
They're
it
3 now.
on Sunday. So
No, they're 2 and wait. They're 3 now.
the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, guess who else is 3-0?
You gonna tell me or should I say it?
The Rams.
Yeah, the LA Rams.
Yeah, and out of the two teams, one I haven't seen, and the other one I've watched at least 2 or 3 games. Kind of leaning Rams. Big fan of Stafford.
Well, I'm not gonna have any more closing thoughts. We'll get to our picks in just a second. I would like to have a second for you to give a nice plug to the neighborhood just mentioned. Some big stuff coming up for season 2.
Oh, that is correct. Yeah, the neighborhood podcast found anywhere you can get podcasts at _NGHBRHD on Twitter, at _NGHBRHD on our new Instagram. Trailer for season 2 is out now on both, and season 2 will start October 4th.
I wonder if PZ will get on the neighborhood. You'll have to find out though. We'll see. You'll have to see too when it comes out.
PZ will be on the neighborhood. Not in the
Spoiler alert.
Not in the premiere, but spoiler alert, in season 2, I'll bet $1,000 he's going to be on it.
Oh, he said take the over. All right, well, that is it for our Sunday slate. Stay tuned. We'll be right back for our picks for week 4 of NFL action. Here we go. We've got the picks. We're ready to rock. We're ready to roll. Going right into the swing of things, starting with an anytime touchdown score. I'm going into the Carolina game. DJ Moore did not get in the end zone last week, but he did the week prior. I'm looking for DJ Moore, who gets a heavy amount of targets, especially from Sam Darnold. No Christian McCaffrey. DJ Moore coming in at plus 140.
I also have a plus money anytime touchdown. Adam Thielen in the Vikings-Browns game. The Vikings probably won't be able to run, I'm assuming. And the only thing left to do is pass to Adam Thielen, I hope. Plus 100.
I'll one-up you right there. Plus 105, another anytime touchdown scorer. This time it's not going to be a receiver, but rather a quarterback, one that we both like to get in the end zone, and that is Josh Allen against the Houston Texans. He's got some receivers in Stephon Diggs and some other guys that can get the job done, but he's got a pretty good set of legs on him, so I expect him to get in the end zone as well.
Interesting. Against the Texans?
Against the Texans.
I will be taking another I one-up you again. Plus 145 anytime touchdown scorer. He's back off the COVID list. Antonio Brown. Going back to one of his old teams. And with his savior, I'd say Tom Brady.
Gronkowski probably not going to be in the lineup. Doubtful. We'll see if he gets any touches, but that gives more room for Antonio Brown to score. Not an anytime touchdown prop, but rather a receiving prop, and it is over 46.5 receiving yards. It is Jalen Waddle of the Miami Dolphins. He has hit 48 or above in the first 3 games of the season. The line's at 46.5 against a pretty decent Colts defense. But we mentioned before, you said it yourself, Brissett's revenge game, and the biggest target for Brissett in the last week was Jalen Waddle. So over 46.5 yards, minus 114. It's almost a lock, but it's not going to be the lock, but it's pretty close to a lock.
It's pretty damn close, huh? On the other end of the touchdowns, somebody throwing the touchdowns, I'm going to be taking Patrick Mahomes over 2.5 passing touchdowns, minus 122 Kansas City at the Eagles. I think they put them away early and then just run the ball. Even whenever they're up, though, they still like to throw.
I like it. I'm going to be moving now away from single bets and into some parlays, but specifically this one's going to be a teaser. I took this, I want to say Sunday night. I can't remember. It was either Sunday night or Monday night of when week 3 was still going on. It's a 4.5 point teaser coming in at plus 333. We'll see if it works out. Again, remember, this was before I knew that A.J. Brown and Julio Jones was out. Tennessee Titans -3, Kansas City Chiefs -1.5, Arizona plus 10.5, and Tampa Bay -1. Honestly, I think the juice worked out in my favor getting the games in early, and that again comes in at plus 333.
I got one more single bet, and then I'll go parlay. My last single bet is over 22.5 for the Broncos at -108, and they face the Ravens at home for the Broncos. Ravens coming to Denver. I don't know. Teddy Two Gloves Lamar, both electric quarterbacks. I don't know. I like it.
Well, for my case in this next pick, I really hope that the Ravens could do a big bit of stomping on Teddy Two Gloves and the Denver Broncos, who have yet to have a loss yet. But they've played some mediocre teams in the Jets and some other teams that aren't so great.
They played.
So I've got Baltimore Ravens -1.5. They were originally -1, but I'm taking them at an alternate spread. The Cleveland Browns -2.5. The Los Angeles Chargers -3, and then under 52.5 in the Washington football team and the Atlanta Falcons game. The line was at 47.5 and thought to myself, well, that could get close to right there. I wanted 51.5 in case it was a 27-24 game and just win right over with that 51. There wasn't an option for it, so I just took it and went to 52.5. All of that plus 913. Again, Cleveland Browns -2.5, under 52.5 in the Washington football team, Atlanta Falcons -1.5 for the Ravens, and then -3 for the Chargers Monday night against the Raiders.
There you go. Do you have just your lock left then?
Yes, sir.
All right. I got one more parlay, then I got a lock. My parlay, same game. I mentioned it earlier, although in recent news, I have deleted one leg. 3-leg parlay, anytime touchdown, same game parlay, plus 1650. Antonio Brown, anytime touchdown. Chris Godwin, anytime touchdown. Mike Evans, anytime touchdown.
The Reckoning, Brady's homecoming.
Yeah. I will say they're all plus money individually for any time. So if you like one of them, not the other two, not a little bad little.
Can you round robin those?
What was that?
Can you round robin the touchdown scores, or is that not a thing?
No. I'd
I
say
didn't think so.
you might be able to. I don't know. I have too many things in my bet slip right now to try it.
That's all right. Would you like to give your lock first, or would you like me to? You won last week, so you definitely can have the option of going first or second.
I'll go. I'll go. I'll go first. I just switched my lock twice. Oh shit! You go first.
Well, I'm ready to make this play. Not a homer pick, but a pick realizing that it could be desperation mode, and it's Lambeau. The Pittsburgh Steelers over 19.5 points coming in at -108. I took a pick last year for the Steelers at I think -20 or over 21.5 points or something like that. They hit that by a long shot. I'm coming back in hot with the Steelers over total points. They are the away team. They are in Lambeau. I think Big Ben and company, they got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Chase Claypool is questionable, but Deontay Johnson and Juju Smith-Schuster were both full participants in practice before the week's end. So I expect Deontay Johnson, as I mentioned earlier, he was at plus 210 earlier when we we're recording. Now for our picks, he's coming in at plus 185 for any time touchdown score. Still would take it one way or another, but what I'm telling you right now, the lock over 19.5 Pittsburgh Steelers against the Green Bay Packers.
All right. I do have a question for you as host of this show. Is there a juice limit?
I mean, I would say 140 or below.
Okay. Because I have one that's 150 that I really, really like. But I'll take
We can set it at 150.
Okay, 150. Anytime touchdown, Devontae Adams. Minus 150. Anytime.
Just know that you're laying some sprinkles there.
I know. I have it in a parlay, but I'm also taking it individually. So
Hey, a lock's a lock.
yeah, lock of the week.
Good stuff, JJ. Well, any closing thoughts before we head into week 4?
Let's go, Teddy.
No, let's not.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm probably gonna bet a substantial amount of money on Teddy Two Gloves. They're plus 100 on the money line too.
Well, we'll be duking it out, dueling it. We'll see if our locks hit. My personally did not hit last week. I'm on a very cold spell of locks. JJ, you've been doing fairly decent, and we'll see. We got a poll up for our locks too. Be sure to check out that on our Twitter. Again, Pittsburgh Steelers over 19.5, and you've got Devontae Adams anytime touchdown score. We're gonna look out for some more of our picks as well as some Monday night picks, and you've got it all right here on PZ's Picks.